Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We have a quorum, so we'll call the meeting to order. Good evening. This is the November 16th open meeting of the Hopkinton Conservation Commission, which is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's amended bill of June 15th, 2021, due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. This meeting will feature public comment. For the meeting, the Conservation Commission is convening by Zoom as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. The meeting is also being broadcast live and recorded by HCAM. Accordingly, please be aware that others may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast by voice or video may be captured by the recording. Supporting materials that have been provided to the commission for this meeting are available on the town's website. After members have discussed each project application on the agenda, the chair will open the discussion to public comment. Members of the public who wish to speak are asked to identify their name and address. 3 minutes will be afforded for any public comments. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote of the commission members. And at this time, I'd like to do a roll call attendance for tonight's meeting. Melissa Ricos.
Here.
Carrie hasn't joined us yet. Janine LeBlanc.
Present.
Ted Walker Hook.
Ted is here.
Ed Harrow.
I'm here.
Jim Sorello.
Present.
And Jeff Barnes. And we'll do a roll call for the staff. Kim.
Here.
Anna.
Here.
Matt.
Here.
And we also have Joe Orzel from Lucas Environmental, who will be assuming Matt's responsibilities going forward. Okay. All right, so we have a number of continuations for tonight for those of you who are in the public who may be attending the meeting to hear them. So Rebel Hill LLC, this is 188 and 190 Fruit Street. Those have been continued unto the next meeting, which is November 30th. Correct, Kim? Oh, no, sorry, those were continued to January 25th, 2022, sorry. We also have Picard at 34 Downey Street. This is the after the fact notice of intent that has been continued to November 30th. McCarthy, 22 Winter Street, a notice of intent for septic replacement and garage that has been continued to November 30th. And the Ravenhood LLC, 0 Hayden Row subdivision, a single family home NOIs have been continued to November 30th. And Aho 103 Wood Street, an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation has been also continued to November 30th. Okay.
Jeff?
Yep, Jim, go ahead.
So McCarthy's not, there's no strike through on McCarthy. Has that been since changed? Has that been continued since you redid this, Kim? Or is
Yeah,
that on
they emailed me a few moments ago. Apologies
Okay.
on that.
All right, great. Okay, no, that's no problem. I just want to make sure that I was looking at the right thing. Thanks.
Okay, Anna, Carrie just joined for the record. Okay, documents for review. Did everyone get a chance to take a look at those, and are there any questions or comments? So that would be the RDA for Salson Logistics, the amended order for 0 Wood Street, Ravenhood, the extension permit for 52 and 55 Wilson Street, certificates of compliance for 259 Wood Street, McQueenie, 3 Fox Hollow Road, FBC Fox Hollow LLC, and 5 Fox Hollow Road, FBC Fox Hollow LLC. Comments or questions from commission members? Okay, if I can get a motion that the documents for review be issued in the form currently before the commission and that can be authorized to sign on behalf of the commission members present.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Ted, in a second, please.
Second.
All right, I think that was Melissa. We'll do the roll call. Melissa,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Janine,
Aye.
Ted,
Aye.
Ed,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. All right. The draft minutes for August 24th, 2021, and the executive session minutes for September 14th, 2021. Did everyone get a chance to look at those? Were there any comments? If I can get a motion to approve both sets of minutes, please.
So moved.
All right, Jim, in a second.
I'll second, Melissa.
All right, and we'll do the roll call. Melissa,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Janine,
Aye.
Ted,
Aye.
Ed,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. All right. Okay. In-person versus remote meetings for December 2021 and on. Just want to open this up for discussion. I think we have one more meeting in November. We have one in December, two in January, and two more in February.
Through the
And then
chair,
after
do we
that,
have
I
a
think-
place yet? I think the senior center wasn't available to us, if I remember.
Yeah, I think it's still, Anna, Kim, I don't want to speak on your behalf, but I think we're still,
It
Kinda
is
having it.
available.
senior center is?
Yep, as long as there's not another meeting that has pre-booked.
So is Tuesdays generally available? Do we know?
Typically, the select board's the only other big commission that meets that night, and they meet at town hall.
Right. Well,
I
I'm all in
think-
favor of going back in person anytime, as soon as we can, I guess.
I think kind of the feedback that I got from Lucas, some of the kind of frequent flyer consultants, as Kim likes to call them, and from Kim and Anna is that, the hybrid just, we can't do it. It'd be too complicated with reviewing plans, trying to manage the meeting, trying to manage a hybrid, scenario. So that, I think that would just be too much of a challenge. So it would either have to be in person or remote. The feedback that I got is that, if we can continue to do the remote, at least until, January, February, because, we may have weather issues and that type of thing, so it's more convenient to do it remote anyways.
And, I agree. I guess if it works remotely, might as well be safe and continue that, like you said, especially maybe during the winter weather.
I'm in favor of continuing remote for for at least the next couple months myself. I mean, I look forward to seeing everyone in person. But, until we, I don't know. Until we get through the weather, the COVID situations calm down a little bit. That's kind of my take, but. I don't know
Through the
if
chair,
anyone
I
else-
think I agree with you. I'm just looking at the New York Times case counts right now, and it's going up again, and there's a big increase in Europe. It's their fifth wave in Europe. I'm trying to find Massachusetts numbers, but we have at best plateaued when I last looked a couple days ago. So I'm in favor of continuing to do this. If we do go back indoors, I'll just repeat, I'd love a bigger table where we're not completely on top of each other. And I think we also ought to have our spectator seats spread out a little bit more than they've been.
Mm.
But I'd be in favor of keeping this up as much as I'm tired of Zoom until all the numbers look better. They're going back up again nationally.
Nope, that makes sense. Is there anyone opposed to that?
Through the chair, this is Ed, of course. I like to see people in the flesh, and I like to see plans on paper that I can actually look at. And I'm a little bit of a fatalist, so there you go.
Yeah, it is a challenge looking at the plans on the computer. I agree with that.
It is nice to see people in person and see plans, but it's also difficult to, with masks on, to talk and to hear people and to speak into. I know even before when we had meetings, there would be issues with people in the audience who couldn't hear what we were saying. We're often asked to speak up or we're not hearing everything. And I think that's compounded with masks.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is Jim, Jeff, and I'm okay either way, but I will point out that Upper Charles Trails meeting, I guess it is hybrid, but there's not necessarily anybody there meeting in person. And CPC, I think we're back to meeting in person, but I'm good either way. But I agree that it's very difficult without being able to look at plans and see people. And so I certainly look forward to those days of being in person.
Through the chair, this is Ed again. Open space meets in person. We do it hybrid so that people can come in from outside, but it does mean that we have to have a physical quorum present. We meet in the basement of Town Hall, and so far it's worked very well.
Yeah, and I'm on a couple other committees too where it's in person, but there's not a lot of interest in the public. We very rarely have people coming in that want to hear what we're saying. We're not reviewing plans and that type of thing. So it sounds like I think everyone's okay with continuing, at least for the next couple of months remote. So I think unless anyone's strongly opposed to it, I think we just continue doing this.
That's a good point, Jeff. We're moving around a lot more on this commission than we do in any committee, so that's a good point.
All right. So Kim, maybe we can, on the agenda in February, we can kind of revisit this, if that makes sense.
Will do.
All right, thank you. Okay, we still have a couple minutes. There was a public forum request for halt. Kim,
Yes, let me pull
bridge
that up for you.
construction.
So HALT is requesting to install a pedestrian footbridge along a trail at the Mary Pratt Trail at the Fruit Street property. And it is just a little bit upstream of the location where the commission previously approved a bridge a couple months ago. The bridge construction is of a similar design as the last bridge. I ran out today and took some photos for everybody. So this was the bridge that the commission approved a couple months ago, the finished product. You'll notice that it does do a pretty good job of spanning bank to bank, which I believe this bridge is also proposed to do. It's kind of a better look. And this is the area of the newly proposed bridge. I believe Mr. Dachi is on the phone, on the call tonight as well. So I ran out there today without him. I'm hoping that I'm showing the correct area based on his instructions. So jump in if I'm lost, please. So this is the stream, which is intermittent. And then I'm imagining, Mr. Dachi, that these orange flags are kind of showing the area of the exact crossing. So there's a flag here. You'll notice the flag in the foreground.
Yes, to the chair, and thank you, Kim. Yes, that's the area of crossing. This one actually is a little more complicated than the one you showed in the photo because it also spans a little wet area, which is on the opposite side of the stream channel that you see. So this bridge will, it's a combination of bridge and boardwalk. Will be 20 feet long. I'm sorry, 24 feet long to span both the stream and the wet area on the opposite side. What this bridge serves to do is link what was an old road and trail up to the Mary Pratt South Trail so that it provides an alternative loop. And it's something that's sort of been on our plans for a while, but we're now finally inspired to get through it. We've been, as you may be aware, creating quite a number of trails in the last year. And we're finally getting around to this one.
Okay, looks pretty straightforward to me. I don't have any questions or comments from other commission members.
Yes, thank you, Chuck.
Okay.
So Chuck, is this map on the HALT website?
Actually, that particular map was an interim map. On the HALT website, there now should be a more detailed one that also shows what's shown on there in the red is an approximate alignment. Since I have GPSed the actual alignment, it's very close, but it's and also there is a trail that branches off north of the westward portion and wiggles its way out to the access road that's also shown on the new plan, which I know Maury has hoped to get on the website. It may be there now.
Okay, I was just curious. I haven't been out there yet to see the work you guys have done, so I'm going to try to get out there.
If you've got 2 or 3 hours, depending on your hiking pace, you can cover most of the ground. But we now have, including Pratt Farm, on the order of 6 miles of trails.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I got to tell you, I spent a lot of time out there, and it is fantastic, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out there Thanksgiving break and check it out. Okay, well, thank you. We appreciate all your efforts on this.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments?
Yeah, Chuck is an outstanding guy. He has been incredibly helpful to open space. So I just want to be sure that he knows how much we appreciate him. Thank you.
Ed knows how to embarrass an old guy.
All right. Yeah, well, thank you, Chuck. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay. That was the only public forum, I believe. Correct, Kim? Okay, Rebel Hill LLC. I just have to open this and continue. We have 2 of them, so Hopkinton Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, November 16th, 2021 at 7:00 p.m. virtually online to hear all persons interested in an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation filed by Rebel Hill LLC to determine the limits and regulatory status of on-site wetland resources. There are two notices. The first is for 188 Fruit Street. This is Assessors Map R2, Lot 21, Lot B. And the second one is 190 Fruit Street, Assessors Map R2, Block 21, Lot A. So those have been opened and they are continued to January 25th, 2022.
Chair,
Yes.
this is Matt. Just wanted, as this has been continued to the end of January, in our comment letter, there was at least one area that needs to be flagged and reviewed. So, Kim, I don't know if you want to, if there was any indication of when that field work will be done, just, there's the potential that by the time we get to January, if, depending on their time frame, we won't be able to review that. And then this whole thing's getting pushed out till spring. So just wanted to, I guess, remind the applicant of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I had that conversation with the applicant as well, that if we have snow cover, it's the commission may decide that it might be better left for review in the spring.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. I think that makes sense. Tough to review wetland resources in the wintertime. Okay. All right, so we'll move along to the next hearing, which is Vision Construction and Design, 178 Ash Street. So I'll read this one for the record. The Hopkinton Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, November 16th, 2021 at 7:00 p.m. virtually online to hear all persons interested in an amended notice of intent filed by Vision Construction and Design to construct a single-family house with associated site work and to perform buffer zone restoration. Location 178 Ash Street, Assessors Map R25, Block 18, Lot A. Okay, do we have someone on the call representing the applicant?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Jamie Bissonette with Zenith Consulting Engineers.
Good evening, Mr. Bissonette. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good, thank you.
Excellent. All right. I'm here on behalf of Vision Construction. They're looking to amend an existing order of conditions, which we filed for a couple of changes to this house lot. We filed the package. I did receive some comments today from Lucas Environmental. I've had a chance to review them and discuss them with my client. Essentially, the first question was regarding the roof drains. And what we wanted to just make a point was that the roof square footage has gone down from approximately 2,340 square feet for footprint to about 1,526 square feet. So there's about a 35% reduction in roof area proposed. So we see only a beneficial impact to the roof drain system. We also have no problem with the do not disturb buffer zone signs. We just wanted to get some input as to how the commission would like for us to place them. If there's a standard, we're happy to implement it and would like to get that put in so that we can have it ready for the next meeting. Is that something the commission can let me know about, or is that something Kim would let me know?
Yep, Kim can provide you guidance there.
Okay.
Kim,
All right,
is
perfect.
that? Yep. Okay.
All right. And then the last note from Lucas's comments were regarding the 5,830 square feet of buffer zone disturbance, which you can see on this plan. It was some work that was done outside of the permitted area. There was some tree removal. There wasn't any real earth disturbance per se in that area, but some trees were taken down in that area. So I wanted to get some feedback on Lucas's proposal. They're looking, we proposed 16 different items to be planted. from trees to some smaller growth, and some seed mix. It appears that they're looking for us to plant somewhere in the scene of about 80. We're not opposed to doing that. If the commission tells us exactly how they would like for us to do it, we can modify this mitigation plan so that it's good for the next meeting.
Okay, yep, and I would just, again, defer you to work with Kim
Okay.
and Lucas on the, so, Lucas has their recommendation here that they put in the letter.
Yep.
So I think just, work with Kim and Lucas to kind of, nail that down and, what exactly is appropriate, if that makes
Sure.
sense. Okay.
No, not a problem. If I have permission to speak with both Kim and the consultant, that we should be able to get this wrapped up for the next meeting, if that's okay.
Yep, and just to confirm on item 1, so even though the roof area has decreased, you still intend to provide the calculations, just verifying that the dry well is appropriate?
Well, realistically, if the calculations are done by another engineering firm, we can provide calculations regarding the roof infiltration. But typically, when you're sending less impervious to it, and it's a volumetric thing, usually it wouldn't be something that we'd have to redo. But if the commission wants us to do additional calculations to show that the reduction still works, then we can do that.
Yeah, just to verify it. I think that makes sense. I don't think you have to go back to the engineering firm, but if, you can provide those, that would be fine.
Through the chair?
Yes, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, really, that comment was around, I understood in the application, the roof size was smaller. It was, to a certain degree, it was just a question as to, was there going to be any change in the design of the dry well? And then just providing, I guess, clarity on that with the calculations, just so that there's no question when it comes time for certificate of compliance and everything was built the way it was approved.
Sure, we weren't proposing to make it smaller. So if the commission's comfortable with the size that it is, we weren't looking to modify that at all. So if that's okay, then we're happy to keep it just the way it is. Yeah, so realistically, that's if you'd like for us to recheck the calcs, we can do them. I'm not really sure what the original design engineer designed the roof drain for. I'm not the original engineer on the project. So I would have to try to figure out what they used for loading and infiltration rates, etc. If the commission wants us to, then we can delve into that.
For the chair,
Go ahead, Kim. Yep.
just for the benefit of the commission, figure just take a step back and kind of provide some background on this site. I think I'm seeing some confused looks. This was a single family home construction in a buffer zone that the commission had approved in 2018, and then it received an extension. I think it was June of this year. Matt was kind of making his rounds and he noticed that construction had started, namely that the vegetation was being removed, and we hadn't had a chance to do a pre-construction meeting. We weren't contacted. And so that's when Matt realized that the erosion controls that were established didn't seem to match up with the plan, and that the builder on site had a plan that didn't match with conservation's final plans of record. And that's kind of how we've ended up here, is we've realized that the best way forward was for the applicant to try to move forward with an amended order with the proposed changes to the building layout, and proposing some mitigation for that buffer zone for the area that was where the vegetation was removed.
Okay, thank you for the background, Kim. That's helpful.
And
great.
Oops, sorry.
Me open it up to questions, comments from commission members. All right, I think
Wait,
are there any
yeah.
questions? Sorry,
Sorry.
Jim, go ahead.
I
Yep.
unmute myself. Yeah, I understand the circumstances here, but I keep thinking of a way to prevent this from happening. That is, we issue an order of conditions, we have approved plans, yet somebody goes out to build and it's a second party or a third party, and then I even using the right plans. So I wonder, I assume the building department approves plans that are the same as the ones that we approve? Does anybody know if that's true, Anna? The planning board or?
I mean, I can't speak to this specific application. The building inspectors are the one that's reviews and approves building permit applications. We can.
But generally speaking, isn't the planning board plans and our plans and the building plans, aren't they all the same?
Not necessarily. Every department's looking for separate information. So building is focused on zoning setbacks. Board of Health is focused on septic. So unfortunately, it's not the first time it's happened. Probably won't be the last.
I can add some insight to it.
Well, wait, before you do that, let me ask a question. Where did this plan come from? Now you can answer.
I don't know about the current plan. The original plan was done by an engineer who quit the day they went up there with the excavator, and he never coordinated with the Conservation Commission. He had a contract with me saying that he was, and I had no idea he wasn't. And so this was all a shock to me. So hence we have a new engineer, and we're trying to conform to whatever the Conservation Commission wants us to do, and we're happy to do it.
Is this the plan that we approved? Because I can't see them.
No. Yeah, the plan that's in front of you is actually our mitigation plan. This was something that Kim had instructed us that the commission would want to see.
Right.
Actually, yeah, the plan that you approved has not been presented tonight.
Where did the builder get the plan that they were using in the field to build?
That would be, I believe, the plan you're looking at now, and I'm guessing they got it from the original engineer or from the owner of the property.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think to Anna's point, planning board, the building department, Board of Health, and the Concom all have kind of different, directives. So, it's a challenge, but I will say that, Anna does a good job of, she does a great job of kind of, keeping an eye out for what's going through Board of Health and the building department, and kind of flags things, on our behalf. In this case, Matt was driving around town, doing inspections and came across this. So I think it's just everyone has to kind of be diligent. It's a team effort, really. There's no magic bullet. There's no magic bullet that's going to prevent this kind of thing from happening. We just all have to be, we all have to keep our eyes open and be aware of it.
It's funny, through the chair, I had a similar discussion with parties here in town. I don't want to identify anybody. And the comment was the same, it's not our responsibility to be looking out for you. Not meaning me personally, but meaning Concom. I think it's unfortunate.
Okay. Are there comments from the public? Questions?
For the chair?
Yes, Kim, go ahead.
I just have a question for Mr. Bissonette for clarification. I was just wondering, what kind of feedback are you looking for in terms of the buffer zone mitigation? Are you looking for information about native species? Are you looking for information about density? I guess what I'm getting at is typically, it's the applicant's job to present something, and then it gets reviewed by the commission, and I'm happy to provide input on a more substantial plan, or to be able to provide you with native species. But I would be looking for you to submit something a little more substantial before going through that process with either myself or Lucas Environmental.
Sure. So I guess the main concern that I have is the density. So providing 80 trees or 80 plants in a less than 6,000 square foot is going to be a very dense planting threshold. I'm guessing the size of the species is going to vary greatly, similar to when you're walking through buffer zone. You'll have saplings, you'll have some smaller and medium caliber stock coming up and a mix of vegetation. I just wanted to make sure that was the case. I did go over the guidance document today. It didn't really specify sizing and placement. It just talked about quantities and the such. So I wanted to make sure the commission was okay with a variety of native species of all different sizes being planted so that we weren't canopy heavy and choking, the vegetation out. But we have a mix of some small undergrowth and, some medium and some bit larger vegetation. Am I on the right track?
Chair?
Yes, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I think what Mr. Bissonette said sounds very good to me. I mean, so often we see plans that are, let's say, lack creativity, lack sort of an understanding and an insight as to sort of the natural conditions. So, a plan that has some thought behind it as far as different sizing, different species, locations that make sense, something that's going to restore, the goal of this is to restore the buffer zone to as close as the condition as it can be as to what it was before it was disturbed without authorization is the goal here. So I would, I would look forward to reviewing a plan that's more than just, that says, LE asked for 80. So here's 80 blueberry bushes and we'll stick them in the ground and hope they survive. Something that has some thought behind it makes it easy for Kim and I or Kim and I and Joe to look at it and say, yeah, that's something that clearly has some thought behind it and it isn't just a boilerplate off the rack plan. So that's certainly what I would want to see.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that.
Okay, great. So we'll continue this to the next meeting, which is November 30th. If you can just, Mr. Bissonette, please send Kim an email requesting the formally requesting the continuation. That would be great.
You got it.
And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Have a good evening.
Good night.
Okay, mass laborers training. This is a continuation of a notice of intent for pond dredging. We have Mr. Connors on the call or a representative of the applicant.
Through the chair.
Yes, Kim, go ahead.
I have reached out to them to ask them if they intend to continue. I had not heard back. I also have not received any revised or updated information. So.
Okay, yeah, I'm just looking at the folks on the call. It doesn't look like there's anyone from Cornerstone. Kim.
I'm not surprised.
So, yeah. Okay, so I guess so going once, going twice, going three times. Anyone from the applicant, mass laborers training on the call? Okay, I guess we'll continue this out. Why don't we continue it out to the December 14th meeting, Kim? Is that okay? Because we have a pretty full agenda for the next one, assuming that the Zero Hayden Row subdivision is going to be before us, and a couple of these other ones that have been continued. So both for the pond dredging for the mass laborers training, and then for the restoration plan for mass laborers training, we'll continue those both out to the 14th since we don't have a representative on the call from the applicant. Okay. Kim, anything else? I think that's it.
I believe that's it.
So I'm missing something.
No, I think we covered it.
So, okay.
Oh, Anna?
Yes, Anna, go ahead. So Matt,
Yes, sir.
did you alpaca your files yet since you're leaving?
Oh, I never heard that one before, Jeff.
It's pretty good, Jeff.
Matt, I couldn't help myself. I know you had t-shirts made up, so I'll pack on my tool bag or whatever.
That's right. That's right.
Um, but anyways, all right. So Matt, this is your last meeting, right?
No, I plan to attend the meeting on the 30th, especially with all the continuances on this, just because, some of these projects that I've been involved with, I want to just kind of see them through so that we have good continuity on that. So I'll be here on the 30th, as will Joe. And then hopefully after that, Joe will be the prime person, at least for the time being. I don't know if you want, as we get a little bit of time, I don't know if you want Joe just to give a quick elevator speech as to introducing himself or not. It's up to you.
Sure. Yeah, we don't want to put Joe on the spot, but Joe, nice to meet you. As we said, you want to just give us a little bit of background.
You.
Did you want to give us a little bit of your background?
Sure. I've been with Lucas for about 3 or 4 years now. I've been doing wetlands consulting for about close to 27 years. I'm a professional wetland scientist, certified wetland scientist. Have a lot of experience in monitoring construction projects and wetland delineation. Happy to be here before the commission and hope to be helpful to you in the future.
I appreciate that. Where did you work prior to Lucas, Joe? Because your name sounds really familiar for some reason.
Yeah, I worked at Wetlands Preservation out of Plastown, New Hampshire. And then before that, I was with Gulf of Maine Research Center out of Salem, Mass.
Okay. Okay. Did you do any presentations at MAC at all?
I have not done any presentations at MAC, no.
Okay. All right. I guess I don't know. Your name sounds really familiar for some reason, but anyways. All right. Well, we look forward to working with you. And Matt, if you're like in town the next couple of weeks, just, shoot me an email. I can grab breakfast with you or lunch or something. Just.
Sure. That'll be great.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. All right, if I get them.
Hang on.
Yep.
This is Ed, and Matt, the same applies here. As OSPC, we owe you big time.
Sure.
Yeah, Matt,
I'll be
if
around
you-
here and there.
Matt, if you, if you're going to be around like on a certain day, just shoot an email to the commission. We can, whatever members want to, hook up, we can meet you for breakfast or lunch or whatever.
How do you do that by
Whatever's
Zoom?
available.
How do you do that by Zoom?
We'll do it in person, at
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Golden Spoon or
Try to-
something.
Trying to beat your alpaca joke.
But there certainly will not be 4 or more of us at once.
Of course not.
Yeah, sure.
No.
No.
Hey, Matt.
Just for the
this is
record.
Jim.
Separate
Thanks.
tables.
Thanks for everything, Matt. I want to just say thanks for going by Ash Street and catching that, because otherwise, sometime in the future, we would be seeing it after the fact. Forgiveness. So thanks. Thanks for everything.
Sure. That's what we're here for.
All right. If I can get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that
Moved.
motion. Happy
Great.
Thanksgiving.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And a second.
I'll second.
All right, and the roll call, Melissa,
Aye.
Carrie,
Aye.
Janine,
Aye.
Ted,
Aye.
Ed,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Give everybody.
45-minute meeting. Woo.
Happy
That's
Thanksgiving.
nice.
Could be a
Final.
record. We're gonna pay for
Bye-bye.
it.
Happy
someday.
Thanksgiving.
We're gonna pay for it.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
Have a nice holiday.
Good night.
Bye.